Hello students. So today we are going to do The Merchant of Venice. And for this you must have your books open so that you follow line wise while I do the explanation. But before I begin Act 3 Scene 2, I just want to tell you about the plot development of this scene. The scene, Act 3, Scene 2, is set in Belmont, the residence of Portia. This is the third of the casket scenes, the scene in which Bassanio makes his choice of the caskets. So it's an important scene, my dear students. Bassanio is anxious to try his luck immediately, but Portia implores him to be patient, for his wrong choice could separate both of them. She asks him to tarry, in other words, to pause a day or two, to forbear a while, so that she may keep him from possibly choosing the wrong casket. She admits that she can advise Bassanio which casket to choose, but that would certainly break her oath to her father. In spite of Portia's entreaties, Bassanio is eager to make his choice at once. Portia believes that if Bassanio loves her, he will make the correct choice, and she therefore calls for music to be played while he chooses to lighten the atmosphere. She sings praises for Bassanio and compares him to Hercules, who rescued a maiden who had to be sacrificed by the Trojans to a sea monster. The lyrics of the background music warn Bassanio not to judge by the outward appearance while selecting the casket, as appearances can be deceptive, and many who appear brave are cowards at heart. So, Bassanio rejects gaudy gold and pale and common silver. His choice is the meagre lead, which is far from being attractive. On opening the lead casket, Bassanio finds a magnificent portrait of Portia. Yet, he feels that it stands nowhere to her real self. Having made the right choice, Bassanio comes forward to kiss Portia, as he is asked to do by the scroll. And on the scroll it was inscribed, "Turn you where your lady is and claim her with a loving kiss." Portia expresses her love for Bassanio and commits herself, mind, body and soul, all to her lord. The two pledge themselves to each other, and Portia presents Bassanio with a ring as a token of their love, which he promises never to part with. Nerissa then surprises her mistress with the announcement that she and Gratiano also wish to tie the knot. Nerissa too gives a ring to Gratiano, which he promises never to part with. Both the couples rejoice in love. The merriment is interrupted by the distressing news brought by Salerio about Antonio's loss at sea. The sad news leaves Bassanio speechless. Bassanio tells Portia about his indebtedness to Antonio and the misfortune that has befallen him. Shylock's inhuman demand for a pound of Antonio's flesh becomes a major concern. Jessica confirms their first fears by informing them of her father's determination to have Antonio's flesh. Portia urges Bassanio to marry her soon and then depart for Venice with Gratiano. During Bassanio's absence, she and Nerissa would live as maids and widows. Bassanio reads aloud Antonio's letter to Portia. In the letter, Antonio wishes only to see Bassanio before he dies. Antonio also requests Bassanio to come to Venice for a last farewell, before he loses his life in keeping with the terms of the bond. Bassanio, as a loyal friend, leaves for Venice to help Antonio. So, my dear students, this is the entire gist of the scene which we are going to do now, and I'll explain line wise the entire scene to you. So, Portia's speech. I pray you tarry, pause a day or two before you hazard, for in choosing wrong I lose your company. Now here Portia is requesting Bassanio, and she is urging him to wait for a day or two. Tarry here means wait, because she says that if you choose wrong, then she's going to lose his company. This shows how she loves Bassanio, and she doesn't want Bassanio to choose wrong. Therefore, forbear a while. Therefore, she says, have patience for some time. There's something tells me, but it is not for love. I would not lose you. And there's just have patience for some time, wait for a while. There's something that tells me, and I don't want to lose your company. And it is, then she says, it is not love. I would not lose you, and you know yourself. And then she says that if you consider love, I'm sure I'm not going to lose you in love in any case. And you also know yourself that hate counsels not in such a quality, that hatred does not give advice in such a manner. So this shows my love for you, my intense love for you. Then, but lest you should not understand me well, but in case you've not understood me well, and yet a maiden hath no tongue but thought, and yet a young girl has just no other choice but to think, though her thought may not be expressed well, but she has no other choice but just to think. I would detain you here some month or two before you venture for me. I would make you stay here before you, make you stay here for a month or two before you venture for me, before you try to win me. I would want you to stay because I want you to be absolutely sure before you choose. I do not want you to lose in any way. Again, this is indicating intense love of Portia for Bassanio. Then she says, I could teach you how to choose right, but then I'm forsworn. She says, I can very well teach you and tell you how to choose the right casket, but then I am forsworn. Means I would be violating my oath, the oath that I have given to my dead father. So will I never be. So she says that I will never be. So I shall never be forsworn. I shall never violate. So may you miss me, but if you do, so you may lose me if you choose wrong. But if you do, then you will make me wish a sin. Means you will make me wish that I had committed the sin of breaking my promise. Then certainly if you choose wrong, I would be wishing that, I wish I had committed the sin of breaking my promise. Beshrew your eyes, they have overlooked me and divided me. Beshrew your eyes here means woe to, means may something bad fall upon. This is just a way to invoke something bad on a person. So beshrew your eyes. They have overlooked me. They have cast a spell on me. Means woe to your eyes who have cast a spell on me, who have enchanted me, who have enraptured me, who have captured my attention. One half of me is yours, the other half yours. Then she says, she's trying to show how much she loves Bassanio. One half of me is already yours, and the other half is yours. The other half, you love me so much, the other half is yours. And I would say the other half, which is mine, is also yours. So half of me is yours, and the other half, which is supposed to be mine, is also yours. Mine own, I would say. But if mine, then yours. Which is mine, it is also, and so all yours. So then she says that, these, mine own, I would say, but if mine, then yours. If mine, then yours, and so all yours. This line here means that the part which is mine is also yours. So in other words, all of me is yours. So that means I am completely yours. I hope you've understood this well, children. First she says that I would say that the other half, which is mine, is also yours. Half of me is yours, and the other half, which is mine, is also yours. Then she goes on to say that the part which is mine is also yours. So in fact, all of me is yours. Oh, these naughty times put bars between the owners and their rights. Oh, these bad times, they're just like putting hurdles between the owner and their rights. Means they are placing barriers between the owners and their belongings. So that although all is yours, I'm still not yours. So she's calling these naughty times or bad times. And so though yours, not yours. So that means although all is yours, but I'm not yours. Prove it so. Let fortune go to hell for it, not I. Prove it so means if it proves to be so that I am not yours. Children, please underline and write. Prove it so here means if it proves to be so that I am not yours, then let fortune go to hell for it. Let fortune go to hell means let fate be damned for causing it, and not I. Let it be my bad luck that has created this, and not me, means I should not be blamed. I speak too long. I think I have been speaking a bit too much. But tis here means it is to peace the time. It is to peace the time means peace here means to prolong. It is only to prolong the time. I'm just trying to extend time. To ache it and to draw it out in length. To ache it means add to it. Means to add more to the time. And to draw it out of length, to stay you from election. And I'm just trying to stretch the time, adding more to it in order to hold you back from making the choice. This is my main motive here. So my dear students, in this speech of Portia is all the while trying to persuade Bassanio not to make his choice now. She says, you do it later, you stay with me for a month or so. But and she's also completely, she's forsworn, she has taken an oath, and because of that she cannot even help Bassanio in making the right choice, although she would always want to do it. And she also is trying to show her intimate love, her intense love for Bassanio. Next is Bassanio's speech. Let me choose, for as I am, I live upon the rack. He says, let me choose, For just as I am, I live upon the rack means rack here is an instrument of torture consisting of a frame on which people were stretched. A frame where people are stretched, their body stretched, and then they are put to torture. So here actually Portia is trying to stretch out the time. So that is why he's saying I live upon, as it is I am living upon this instrument of torture. And this instrument was such that people were stretched on it until they confessed their crimes. It was usually of treason to the state. If they had done anything unlawful to the state, they would be stretched on this rack. So he's just trying to say that let me choose, because I'm as if being stretched on this rack, because you are trying to stretch time and it is torturing me all the more. Portia, upon the rack, Bassanio? Then she says that fine, if you're thinking that you're facing that position as if you're being stretched on that instrument of torture, then confess. Then you must confess what treason there is mingled with your love. What treason, what crime of disloyalty is there which is mingled, means mixed with your love. Bassanio, none but that ugly treason of mistrust. There's nothing, no crime of disloyalty in my love, absolutely nothing. But it's a treason of mistrust. Mistrust means doubt. I'm just a little doubtful here, which makes me fear the enjoying of my love. That is holding me back from, giving me the fear that I will not be able to enjoy my love. I will not be able to attain you. There may be as well be amity and life. Tween here means between snow and fire, as treason and my love. So he's just trying to say here in these lines, Bassanio, that nothing but that ugly feeling of doubt is making me feel scared and feel dreadful, that I may not have the one I love for my wife. And there may be as well be amity and life, means there may be as well be friendship and life. Just like between snow and fire, so there is between my doubt and my love. Here the same. My treason here would mean my crime of disloyalty and my love. The same thing exists here. So he's trying to say here that, children, these two lines, there may be as well be amity and life, means there cannot be friendship and union between snow and fire. So there cannot be relation between treason and my love for you. So please do not call it a crime or anything disloyal. I'm not being disloyal to you. Just as there cannot be any friendship between snow and fire, so there cannot be any friendship between treason or the crime of disloyalty. You can underline and write, children, and my love. Next. But then he says, let me to my fortune and the then the Portia says, aye, but I fear you speak upon the rack. Then she says, aye, but I'm afraid that you are speaking upon the rack, means you're speaking under torture, where men and foes do speak anything. When they are compelled, and force means compelled, then they speak anything. And I fear you are just speaking under pressure of torture. Bassanio, promise me life and I'll confess the truth. So Bassanio says that you promised to spare my life, and I'll confess the truth to you. So then Portia says, well then, confess and live. Means, well, then this option is just like it was offered to traitors on the rack as an alternative to dying with their secrets, that you confess. So she says, you also confess. And love had been the very sum of thy confession. Now you must confess and say that love had been the very sum, that it was mainly the main motive behind your confession is your love. Is my love? O happy torment, when my torturer doth teach me answers for deliverance. Then he says, O happy torment, means here he's actually feels tortured. You know, when he's not given the chance to choose, he's just calling it happy torture because it is just a contrast. He's saying that had been the very sum of my confession. Now love would be the very gist of my confession, he's saying. So, oh happy torture, when my torturer doth teach me answers for deliverance. When my torturer doth teach me here, my torturer here is actually Portia, is teaching me answers, what I should deliver, how I should answer. But let me to my fortunes and the casket. But he's insisting, he's saying, I just take me to my luck and take me to those caskets and let my luck come through. Let me go and seek my fortune by making the choice of the caskets. So my dear students, this is all for today. We'll continue with this on the next turn. Please revise well and let me know if you've not understood anything.